Hello. So I have a break on my bus as I want to tell you my crazy dream that I had last night. So, of course, today is September the 14th, year 2020. And as you all might already know, I've already been gone from the Watchtower / JW org for more than 16 years. And once again, last night I had another Jehovah's Witness / family dream. Now, I haven't had one of those dreams for quite some time, for maybe even 6 months now. But unfortunately, I had one last night. And let me tell you, when I woke up this morning, it felt so real. So as a friendly reminder, I'm not exaggerating this. I'm not trying to make this sound like it's all ooh. This is exactly how the dream went by. Now, of course, if you know my mom, you'll know exactly how my mom reacts to me when I was a kid. So let me start the story of my dream. So the dream starts when I was sleeping. Yes, I was sleeping in my dream. And suddenly I was uprupted by my mom waking me up. So I suddenly woke up feeling like a zombie, and my mom looks at me and she says, "Victor, you need to get ready for field service. Hurry. And so I looked at her and I was like, I am not going to get ready for field service until I have my coffee. So I slowly but surely, I got up and I needed coffee badly. So I got up, I got my hot coffee, and I sat down on the couch in front of the TV. And I was sitting there drinking my coffee. All of a sudden, I saw my mom whiz by me, looking like she's really rushing. And I was sitting there like, why is she rushing? And then all of a sudden, I see my little brother, Benjamin, which I call him Beaner. He also whips by me really fast. And I'm still looking at them like, why are they rushing so quickly? And 2 seconds later, there's my mom again. She whips by me again. And I'm still looking at them, not understanding. And suddenly I see my stepbrother, Jason. He's also whipping by me, back and forth. And while I'm just sitting there drinking my coffee, there's my mom. 2 seconds later, up there's my little brother Benjamin. Up, and here's Jason. They're just pacing back and forth, just constantly. And I'm sitting there like, what are they doing? And while I'm sitting there drinking my coffee, trying to wake up, all of a sudden, I see my mom coming towards me, and she stops, and she looks at me again, and says, "Victor, what are you doing? Why aren't you getting ready for field service?" And then I looked at her, and I'm like, you know what? I am not going to get ready for field service until I finish my coffee. She rolled her eyes at me and she's like, I don't understand you, Victor. So she didn't feel it, she runs away. So I'm still sitting there, looking confused, not awake yet. And while I'm sitting there waiting, there's my mom again. There's my little brother Benjamin. There's my mom going the other direction. Then there's my stepbrother Jason. And while I'm watching them, it looked like they're all trying to rush and hurry and get ready for field service. So while I'm sitting there doing nothing, all of a sudden, once again, my mom stops and she looks at me and she repeats herself. Victor, I do not understand why you're not getting ready for field service. And I look at her again and I'm shaking my head and I repeated myself. I already told you I'm not going to get ready for field service until my coffee is in me. So she rolled her eyes again and she walks away. So now I'm still sitting there and now I'm kind of waking up from the coffee. And as I keep seeing them pacing back and forth, I told myself, you know what? If I don't do anything and getting ready for field service soon, my mom's gonna approach me and she's gonna bitch and gripe at me again. So seconds before I got up, all of a sudden I see my brother. He comes right towards me and he stops. And then he looks at me. He's shaking his head. He's not saying anything, but he's looking at me, looking confused. And then all of a sudden he walks away. And then 2 seconds later, here comes my stepbrother Jason, who, by the way, he's never been a Jehovah's Witness. He stops and looks at me. He also looks confused, not understanding why I'm not getting ready for field service. And all of a sudden, my stepbrother Jason walks away. So finally, I put my coffee down and I said, I'm gonna look like I'm getting ready for field service. And so I got up, I went to my bedroom, I put on my dress pants and my dress shirt. Now, I didn't tuck in my dress shirt, I didn't put on my tie, my hair was still all messy, and so I went back to the living room where the TV was and the couch, and I sat down. And of course, my shirt looked all messy, very wrinkled, but I thought my mom won't confront me again. So I sat down and I started drinking my coffee again, and sure enough, here comes my mom the third or the fourth time. She looks at me. She goes, "What are you doing, Victor?" And I looked at her and I go, "I'm getting ready for field service." She goes, "Victor, look at your clothes. Your clothes are all wrinkled. You need to hurry up and tuck in your shirt, put on your tie, fix your hair. You need to get ready for field service." And she kept repeating herself, getting ready for field service. So I rolled my eyes, and as my mom walked away, I looked over, and right next to me was my cousin Melanie and my stepsister Heidi. And they were reminiscing, acting like they were the best of friends. I then looked at them and I said, "Melanie, why aren't you getting ready for field service?" And Melanie looks at me and she had this exact tone of voice. "You know what? Heidi and I am not going in field service." So then right when she said that, I told myself, you know what? If Melanie and Heidi are not going in field service, then you know what? I'm not going to go in field service either. So Heidi, my stepsister, and my cousin Melanie didn't move. They were right next to me. And moments later, my mom approached me again. She looks at me and says, "What are you doing?" I was very calm. My coffee was kicked in now. I was more awake. I looked at my mom and said, "Since Melanie and Heidi aren't going in field service, then you know what? I'm not going in field service either." My mom looks at me and she goes, "Whatever, Victor. All I gotta tell you is I'm going in field service and I am going to serve Jehovah." My mom walked away, did this, walked away, and said, "Done." So my mom, my stepbrother, and my brother Benjamin, I watched them leave. They literally left. They looked all dressed nice. My brother and my stepbrother had their suits and their ties. Their hair was all nice. They were completely shaved. My mom was wearing her real nice dress. They had their book bag. They had their Watchtower and the Wake magazines. They didn't have their Bible, just their Watchtower and the Wake magazines. They were ready to serve Jehovah. So now they left. And then I sat there and I watched my cousin Melanie and my stepsister Heidi reminiscing. They were acting like they were like the best of friends. And while I was watching them, I thought to myself, and I said, "Man, I wish I had close friends like them. I don't have anyone." And so while I'm sitting there watching them acting like the best of friends, all of a sudden, I see Heidi and my cousin Melanie walking outside. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna follow them, see what they're doing. And so I followed them. I didn't say anything to them. I followed them and I said, I was real nice to them. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And Melanie looks at me and she goes, "I have nothing to say to you, Victor." And she turned her head. And I was like, wow, she was so rude. Why would my own flesh and blood cousin Melanie treat me like this, but being so nice to her step cousin Heidi? And then I looked over and there was Heidi. And I looked at her. I didn't say anything to her. Then Heidi looks at me and she had this look like, had like, whatever. And I sat there and I did not understand. They were just having the greatest time together, just enjoying their life. And then all of a sudden, pop! I woke up. And let me tell you, when I woke up, I was like, wow, that felt so real. Moral of the story, once again, what is going on in the year 2020 in real life? Number one, I won't even go about my mom. My mom needs mental help. The text messages my mom has been sending to me this year, I'm just talking about this year, cuckoo, cuckoo. She's really brainwashed in that Watchtower, let me tell you that. And then of course my brother, Benjamin, I don't know anything about him anymore. All I only know is the last time he said to me, which was what, a month and a half ago, "Victor, you're an apostate." Woo! And then, of course, my stepbrother, Jason, I know he lives real close to where I live at, but he's not on social media, so hopefully he's doing well. And then, of course, my stepsister, Heidi, don't know anything about her either. She's on Facebook, but we're not Facebook friends. She completely and utterly shuns me, 100%. I know she's married to Frank Zabo, and I know that she adopted her, I guess it would be her nephew, or her niece, which would be Jason's son, a daughter. I'm not going to go into the story behind that. And then, of course, my cousin Melanie, and again, I'm not going to go into this long, huge story behind her, is all I know is this, that not long after Melanie and her husband, marriage fell apart, and her so-called husband came out of the closet. Hold on. Bullshit! Though I already knew Melanie knew her husband was gay. Years ago. Again, I'm not going to the story behind that. I've been there, done that. Did a video on that. But like I said, right after Melanie and her husband, gay husband, marriage fell apart, suddenly Melanie disowned me. Again, I know it has to do with her ex-husband Paul and my brother Benjamin. Like I said, very interesting that right after their marriage fell apart, I see that my Jehovah's Witness brother Benjamin suddenly became Facebook friends with our disassociated cousin Melanie. So, that's my story. I've been recording 16 minutes now, and I just wanted to tell you, this is the kind of dreams that I get. It's crazy. I didn't make this story up. This was the dream. And maybe it's PTSD. I don't know. But I definitely need to get some help when all this coronavirus gets better. So I hope you enjoyed my story, and I'm sticking to it. See ya.